Arab and Muslim allies have been left stunned as Trump's latest moves on Israel catch them off guard, forcing governments across the region to rapidly reassess their positions in the face of a shifting diplomatic landscape they did not fully anticipate. Trump's new Israel gambit is splitting the Muslim world in real time, with some leaders edging toward engagement while others dig in their heels, exposing deep fault lines over how to balance solidarity with Palestinians against evolving strategic interests. Fiery reactions have erupted across multiple capitals after Trump publicly pitched an Iran deal that is directly tied to expanding the Abraham Accords, stirring intense debate over whether normalizing ties with Israel should be linked to resolving broader regional conflicts. A dramatic split is emerging as Saudi Arabia signals openness while Pakistan openly rebels, turning Trump's Abraham Accords push into a political war where his plan collides with hard limits on what key Muslim nations are willing to accept. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is effectively signaling yes to the idea of recognizing Israel, even as Pakistan emphatically says absolutely not, underscoring just how divided the Muslim world has become over Trump's vision for regional peace and alignment. Trump ally Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is reportedly ready to recognize Israel today, suggesting that, from his perspective, Riyadh could move toward formal ties with Israel far more quickly than many observers expected. According to the Crown Prince, his father King Salman remains the main obstacle to such a move, with the aging monarch's long-standing commitments and more traditional stance on the Palestinian issue acting as a decisive brake on immediate recognition. Trump ally Mike Evans disclosed this claim in a report cited by the Jerusalem Post on May 25, presenting his account of private conversations as evidence of how close Saudi Arabia might be to a historic policy shift. Evans, who is the founder of the Friends of Zion organization and a longtime supporter of Israel, has long positioned himself at the intersection of evangelical, pro-Israel, and Republican politics, amplifying messages that cast Trump as a uniquely pro-Israel leader. He said he met the Saudi Crown Prince for 2 hours, describing an extended discussion in which MBS spoke bluntly about Palestinians, Israel, and the future of the region's political map. Evans claimed that during this conversation the Saudi Crown Prince was sharply critical of the Palestinians, accusing them of squandering financial support and political opportunities provided by Saudi Arabia and other Arab states. According to Evans, MBS also rejected the idea of dividing Jerusalem into 2 capitals, warning that any such arrangement would turn the city into a terror capital rather than a stable seat of peace or shared sovereignty. All of this is unfolding as US President Trump moves to explicitly link a potential Iran deal to the Abraham Accords, signaling that in his view, progress with Tehran and expanded Arab-Israeli normalization should proceed together as part of a single strategic vision. Trump has said that nations including Qatar, Egypt, Pakistan, Jordan, and Turkey should join the Accords, effectively challenging a broad range of Muslim-majority countries to follow the normalization track and deepening the fault lines already visible across the region. Mike Evans, a Trump ally, said, and I quote, "When I talked to the Crown Prince, he told me that he would acknowledge Israel today. But he said his problem was his father. I think it's genuine. Donald Trump has got enormous negotiating leverage with Saudi Arabia right now. Enormous leverage. And I don't think there's any question of the doubt that the president plans on delivering these countries because he's trying to move towards a genuine peace." The Crown Prince said, speaking to the Palestinians, "They wasted our money." He said they shouldn't be attacking Israel. They should be copying Israel. When he spoke about Jerusalem, he said if there was ever 2 capitals in Jerusalem, it'd be a terror capital. He appeared to be more pro-Israel than a large percentage of the Jewish population. He's built a lot of friendships, and he can deliver on them. Most of the ammunition that has created the problems for the state of Israel and for the Jews worldwide is the Muslim Brotherhood. By creating this alliance with these Sunni countries, Abraham Accords, you are checkmating the Muslim Brotherhood. No president in history has done more for the state of Israel than this president. You've got to look at the positive rather than the negative. I don't believe Iran is going to keep their promises. If they try to play him for the fool, he'll come back and hit them. They would make a terrible mistake to underestimate this president." Unquote. The Abraham Accords, mediated by Donald Trump, are a set of agreements signed in 2020 that were presented as historic. These accords normalized diplomatic ties between Israel and several Arab nations, opening the door to embassies, trade, security cooperation, and public political engagement that had previously been limited or entirely behind the scenes. Pakistan's defense minister has publicly rejected the idea of Pakistan joining the Abraham Accords, stressing that such a move would clash with the country's long-held ideological positions and its stance on the Palestinian question. The Pakistan defense minister said, quote, "Personally, I don't think we should join any such accord that clashes with our fundamental ideologies. How will you sit down with those people whose word cannot be trusted even for a single day? We have a very clear stance that this is not acceptable to us. And secondly, on our passports, we are the only country whose passports don't even include Israel's name," unquote. Donald Trump reportedly told Arab and Muslim leaders that he expects progress on ties with Israel after an Iran deal. An Axios report said the message came during a May 23 call with regional leaders. According to Axios, leaders on the call told Trump they supported the emerging deal with Tehran. The call reportedly included Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, and Bahrain. Trump then asked countries outside the Abraham Accords to normalize relations with Israel. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Pakistan notably still do not have formal diplomatic relations with Israel. One official told Axios there was silence on the line after Trump made the request. Axios also reported that Trump then joked by asking whether the leaders were still on the call. One official said Trump told the group he would speak with Benjamin Netanyahu next. The Trump administration now appears to be looking at a broader expansion of the Abraham Accords in the aftermath of an Iran deal. Donald Trump said he has instructed U.S. negotiators not to rush into any agreement with Iran as talks continue over a possible deal. On May 24, Trump stated that the U.S. blockade would remain in place until a final agreement is formally signed between the parties involved. The remarks marked a noticeable shift after Trump had claimed just a day earlier that a deal was already largely negotiated. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "If I make a deal with Iran, it will be a good and proper one, not like the one made by former President Barack Obama, which gave Iran massive amounts of cash and a clear and open path to a nuclear weapon. Our deal is the exact opposite, but nobody has seen it or knows what it is. It isn't even fully negotiated yet. So don't listen to the losers, who are critical about something they know nothing about. Unlike those before me who should have solved this problem many years ago, I don't make bad deals." Unquote. According to Al Jazeera, Trump appeared to be stepping back from the proposed deal amid growing internal political pressure. Meanwhile, U.S. officials told Reuters that Iran had agreed in principle to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Officials also said the current framework could provide negotiators with up to 60 days to finalize a broader agreement. Trump administration officials reportedly claimed that Mujtaba Khamenei had endorsed the broad framework of the proposed deal. However, Tasnim news agency reported that the United States was still resisting key Iranian demands, including the release of frozen Iranian financial assets.